Roger Lindley. I'm on the board, but I'm also on the program committee for the Expats Club. We may be doing things a little bit differently in the future about some of the who does what up here at the podium, and we'll see how that works out. First of all, thank all of you for coming. It's going to be an informative session today, I think. We have Jerry Nelson will be talking with us about human trafficking, in particular about Rotary Action Group Against Slavery, and also about the Thailand branch of Rotary Action Group Against Slavery. And I think on your tables you'll see Jerry passed out a trifold talking about human trafficking. You might want to look at that. Following Jerry, we'll have a presentation from Boston Health Polyclinic about things that we need to be aware of as residents here. And we have a fill-in for our representative from the Old Chiang Mai Cultural Center. I've had a chance to chat with Sarisa, and we'll be filling in. A very interesting lady to talk with. I encourage you, if you have time after the meeting, maybe chat with her a little bit about her life and about the Old Chiang Mai Cultural Center. Following that, our friend Thomas Carden is back with us to give us a brief update on what's going on with taxes for expats. Following that, our other board member, Rick Hahn, who just went through the end-of-life sessions, will be talking with us about his latest planned project that sounds quite interesting, like just talking to this morning. So, and after that, we'll have our president, Kent, wrapping up at the end of the meeting. So I'd like to welcome Jerry Nelson, come up and inform us about human trafficking.
Probably. 1, 2. Okay, I'm up here, now you're stuck with me. Before I get started, I want to tell you a little bitty story that is true. I was talking to a Thai gentleman about this subject, and he said, well, we don't have any slavery in Thailand because Rama II abolished it. To which I replied, we had a similar thing happen in the United States when President Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery. But the truth of the matter is, there's more slavery in the world today than there has ever been. And what I'm going to talk about a little bit today is human trafficking, modern slavery, the Rotary Action Group Against Slavery, the Thailand team, and some possibilities that you all may want to consider. Why do I do this? Would you believe that this work can get to be very dragging and painful when you're trying to deal with kids? There's 4 watch faces on my watch, and I use them as motivation to keep going. They're all children that I know, and incidentally, they are located in the northeast, south, and west parts of Thailand. But they are my motivation for today and for many days. They and many other children. You all heard of Edmund Burke. He's a very, very prolific and he was an amazing guy, and he had a lot of amazing things to say. And the one thing that he said that I love the most is the only thing necessary for the triumph of freedom is for good men to do nothing. That includes good women too, by the way. So let's keep that in mind, and let's see what we can do. I've got 30 minutes, and I don't think I'm going to use it all. So that may be a relief for you. What does modern slavery include? It includes a whole lot of things. Human trafficking, forced, all kinds of stuff. Oh, by the way, the American definition of human trafficking for children states that the child does not have to be moved for it to be a human trafficking case. It can be something that happens and the child doesn't even move. So we kind of adhere to that definition. And by the way, if there are any questions, you can do one of two things. You can hold your questions until the end, or you can just raise your hand and we'll stop and ask questions. I'm really good either way. The fight against human trafficking and modern slavery, it comes in really in four parts. Prevention, and it's like preventative medicine. It's always better and cheaper to prevent the disease than to try to cure it. So that's what we're focusing on. But there is prosecution, there is protection, and there is restoration. And there's a lot of good organizations that do a lot of that stuff. In rescue, which is really part of protection, there are organizations that actually go and kick down doors and rescue people. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm 79 years old, I'll be 80 in July. If I were 29 years old, I would not be doing this. I'd be kicking down doors. It just sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. Plus, it's important work and it needs to be done. So, anyway, that's enough about me. Rotary has decided to take on a resolution to promote the stop of human trafficking and modern slavery, and I just thought I'd throw that in there since we have a minute. How is Rotary organized? Well, an individual belongs to a Rotary club, and there's something like 1.2 million. There's 1.4 million if you count the Rotaractors. There's some 35,000 clubs, 515 districts, and probably most important to us is, well, where am I going here? I went too far, sorry about that. There are about 25 Rotary action groups, and that's kind of what I want to kind of focus on. A Rotary action group is made up of Rotarians who have a particular passion. In my case, it's anti-human trafficking. There are Rotary action groups that focus on clean water. There's Rotary action groups that focus on maternal health, and it's all on the website. But what we focus on is human trafficking, okay? And here's pitch number one, and I'm just going to warn you right now so you don't run out the room screaming. There's 2 pitches in this slide, okay? If you're not already, you might consider becoming a Rotarian. The way you do that is you ask a Rotarian. You can't just wander in and say, I want to join. We had a guy try that one time at Chiang Mai International. It didn't work out very well. He was a character. And we'd ask you to join the Rotary Action Group Against Slavery. That's really easy. All you do is you go to this website, ragus.online, and up there in the right-hand corner, you got that, you got the join button, and it's terribly expensive. It's $75 US for 5 years. That's not expensive. But the money goes to do a lot of good. And we would ask you to join the Thailand team. That's easy. You just let us know you want to get involved, we'll sign you up. So that's the first ask for today. What does the team look like? Well, there's an org chart that I threw together. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the Peace Culture Foundation training and what we're doing. and a little bit about Project Hill Tribes. What we're trying to do is raise awareness and do prevention training, okay? Our vision, human trafficking prevention training for every, not every -2, but every child in Thailand and in the Mekong region. That's a tall ask. And I guarantee you will not get it done by Tuesday. But the more people we get involved and the more we are determined, the more we will get done during our own lifetimes. What's all this going to require? And by the way, here's a good purpose, because our primary goal is to protect children from the horrors of human trafficking. That's why I'm standing up here today. Any of you guys, anybody here have a child? Yeah. Think about that. You know? Anybody have grandchildren? I can't be the only grandpa. Think about that. Okay. What will be required to do this? Okay, let's take a look. We're gonna raise awareness. That's what Thailand Rackets team is trying to do. Presentations like today, that's why I'm here, okay? And we do all this other stuff. We visit organizations and promote things, and newsletter, bulletin. If you are at all interested in receiving our bulletin, now would be a great time to give me your email address or fill out a card or paper on the table. Our first bulletin is going to go out in April. The team thought April 1st would be a good day, and I said I am not about to do that. I am not starting something on April Fool's Day. So we're going to send it out on April 2, okay? All right, our goals include collaboration with great organizations. We're working with several Rotary clubs. More are coming. We're working with some great NGOs, and if you're not familiar with it, CBO is community-based organizations. We're working with some of those. Truth told, we need more people to help do all this stuff. Okay, we're getting there. Fundraising. I got a couple fundraising ideas I'll share with you down the road. But we're looking at government grants, Rotary grants, individuals. We're trying to fund projects to save children, okay? And that's probably enough to be said about that. The two projects that are more direct involved in child prevention are the peace culture training projects. Dr. Sombat Tabanyal was going to be here this morning, and I was going to introduce him, but I got a line message from him less than a half an hour ago. He's a clinical psychologist, and he's got an emergency with a client, so he can't be here this morning. But perhaps next time we'll get to meet him. And we're going to talk about Project Hill Tribe Kids. We're going to talk about Hill Tribe Kids now, and then we'll go on, because there's not a slide with them. What we're doing is we're collecting media and presentation materials that we can use to train Hill Tribe kids. And we're not sure exactly how all of this is going to turn out. It's a brand new project, but we've got some very exciting ideas, including flip charts, digital storytelling, and I don't know, several other things. Yes, Roger, thank you. He may have heard my voice crack. Thank you. Okay. Enough about the Hill Tribe kids for right now. The Peace Culture Foundation training we've been involved in for a couple of years. And basically what we do is we support the Peace Culture Foundation. Sometimes we provide Zoom support, sometimes it's money, and so forth. But we're training kids to be safe, and the main topics are grooming, sexual abuse, peer advocacy, and bystander intervention. All very important to give the kids an opportunity to stand up for themselves and not get racked into trafficking, okay? We've done classroom trainings, 20 schools. I think that number is up slightly. I think it's probably 24, but I'm not positive. And the plan is to go countrywide. Training the trainers. We did a really good 2-day train the trainer session in Chiang Mai, 9th and 10th of February. And the subjects that we covered are listed there. And it really went well. The trainees are all college students, except for 5, which were actually high school seniors. And I got a chance to talk to a lot of these kids, and they're really switched on. They're really great kids. And the Peace Culture Foundation collaborates with a lot of organizations. We have another training coming up on the 30th of March that's going to be mostly community leaders. We do that sort of thing a lot. It's not free, but it's reasonably priced. We have a library project. There are libraries in different locations. And what we do is we put Rotary contact information inside the cover of books. Very, very low key marketing for Rotary. And it's provided a couple of good new members just through that contact. And there's ways you can get involved. You can donate books. You can join us to volunteer to help. And if you're not in some area like this, maybe we can talk about putting another library in a location near you. Okay. Awareness events. How many of you have seen the movie The Sound of Freedom? So how many of you saw it in Chiang Mai? I don't think anybody here. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Seth was there. Yeah. We're going to repeat that in Bangkok, the 28th of April. If you're going to be in Bangkok, let me know. I'll send you the contact information. We're also going to repeat it in Chiang Mai at Tulu. That was just decided yesterday. And information will be coming out about that. And we also are planning on Chiang Mai, Pattaya, and Phuket. Any place we can have an opportunity to get people together and raise awareness about human trafficking, that's what we're going to try to do. And, thank you, Roger. Good man. So, there's that. Our T. treasurer sent me the Einstein poster the other day, and I said, that's a good way to end the program. So, this is the second ask. And we'd ask you to get involved, become a Rotarian, join Raggers, join the team, attend events, donate, and probably the most important thing on this whole list is tell others. It amazes me how many people are either completely unaware or blind to the fact that child human trafficking exists. It amazes me, but it's true. And what we're here to do is to try to increase awareness and hopefully save some kids. So, the slide you've all been waiting for. What questions do you have?
Bring the microphone to you.
Thank you. So what amazes me is that these traffickers can actually get children. I noticed that particularly amongst the Thai people, they're very, very mindful and caring about their children. How on earth could a trafficker get hold of a child?
Very easy.
One of the prevention topics that Dr. Sombat spends an awful lot of time on is grooming. Predators are very good at grooming children, gaining their trust, and then convincing them to get into stuff they're not supposed to. And that can include sex, it can include drugs, a whole lot of things. The stereotypical picture is a child being grabbed off the street and kidnapped. I will tell you that happens, but I will also tell you it doesn't happen very often. Most of the children that get hooked into trafficking are adolescent girls, adolescent boys, and most of them have gone through some sort of a grooming process before they're actually involved. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Other questions for Jerry? Tom's Garden?
Are you guys working with I know the U.S. Embassy has a fairly active program in this, along with several NGOs. Are you guys working with the various embassies to see what assistance they can give you?
Yes, we are not working directly with any of the embassy programs at this point, but I have met with the United States Ambassador, I've met with the Consulate General. We're working on, how are you going to call it? We're working on getting funding for Peace Culture Foundation from the American government. And there may be a couple of other things going on in Bangkok soon. But yeah, we're also aware of some of the other embassies that are involved. The Australians are trying to do good work here, and other countries as well.
Shane, I think there was a group in Chiang Mai doing, or they still are, doing anti-trafficking. And there's been an independent report about 5 or 6 years ago that said that trafficking has actually increased.
Mm-hmm.
Because what these anti-trafficking groups do, they go in, they pull one girl, maybe 15, 16, out of the brothel, and then what happens is the mama-san goes up to the village and brings back 5 girls. So this is something that what they need to do is not stop just getting one girl out, one girl out, one girl out, because that just increases it. They need to actually cut it off, go into these places, shut them down, and prosecute them and put them away. But they're not doing that. They're going out to Australia and getting lots and lots of millions of dollars of funding, and they're not actually doing anything except increasing trafficking. So you need to make sure when you do look at these groups that you do proper investigation, and everything they do, their marketing is fantastic, but actually seeing what happens on the ground, you need to investigate that. And a lot of people, a lot of different foundations in Thailand are very good at marketing and getting your money, but it's actually not going to the programs and people that actually need it. But there are some really good groups. One's called Zoe International. and they're in Chiang Mai, and they prosecute. So they're stopping it.
Thank you. You and I would like to have a conversation offline. I got time for one or two more? Yes, ma'am.
Where do they take the children? Because obviously if you're performing rescue, the children have to have a safe home. And I only know of one orphanage out in Doisaket that was founded for that specific purpose. I mean, they're so strict, they wouldn't even let me in, but I happened to meet the founder, you know, at a lunch. Yeah. So where do they take the children?
Where do the traffickers take the children?
No, the rescuers. Because obviously if you're rescuing kids, adolescents, teens.
There are several organizations that have homes,
Yeah.
and they're pretty quiet. They're pretty much they don't have any big blingy signs.
Yeah.
They're harder to find than the houses in Pahrump. The children in the human trafficking situation in Thailand, some of them start in Thailand, some of them are imported into Thailand, and some of them are exported out of Thailand. So, you know, there's a lot going on. Any more? Okay. Go ahead.
I don't know, is it okay if I just make a comment?
Sure.
Yeah. You said you weren't using up all your time, so I'll finish.
No, we still got about 3 minutes.
I just thought I'd make a comment because I grew up in an Asian family. Children are taught to refer to all of the adults in their environment as uncle or auntie. So you could actually witness something, but you feel, well, should I intervene or not? Because this child is referring to that adult as uncle and auntie. But it doesn't mean the same thing in our culture. Uncle and auntie isn't necessarily a blood relative. It's usually someone who's able to get in and win the trust of that family who's doing this. And it's the same dynamics, because I've talked to orphanages in Sri Lanka, and they had girls who got pregnant at 14 and stuff. And it was the uncle who was taking the child to school every day on the motorcycle. Never mind.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to either fall down or jump down. We'll see. We'll see what happens.